Hello, everybody. Today we have another special event here with NISS. This is like a career fair for the academic jobs opportunity. The first speaker today is Daniel B. Hall from the University of Georgia. Please, Daniel.
Thank you, Luca. Let me share my screen. Can can you see my screen? Maybe give me a thumbs up.
We can see it.
Great, thank you so much. So I just want to thank you, Luca, and thank you to the other participants. I'm very happy to be here. Appreciate NIST putting this event on. My name's Dan Hall. I'm a professor in the Department of Statistics at the University of Georgia. I've been here a good long time. It's my 30th year at Georgia. I'm also the interim department head and the director of the UGA Statistical Consulting Center. So I want to talk today a little bit about the University of Georgia and the Department of Statistics. We have a job that we're recruiting for this year, and I want to mention that position. And I'm going to try to
Hey,
talk quickly.
sorry. I'm just going to ask you to switch the display settings again.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that.
Okay. And then if you recall, the display settings are at the top. And then if we just switch the monitor. All right,
Take
that
care of
looks,
it.
yes, thank you so much. Sorry.
So sorry for the mix-up. Kind of reset to where it had been previously. Um, so thanks for fixing that for me, Megan. So again, my name's Dan Hall. I'm the interim department head at the University of Georgia Department of Statistics. I want to talk about the university and the position that we have, and try to get through that quickly, and hopefully there'll be time for everyone to ask some questions at the end. So the University of Georgia is located in Athens, which is a town that's best known for the university. I think it's a little bit more than a college town. However, it's about 210,000 inhabitants in the metro area. We're close to Atlanta, so just a little bit more of than an hour drive over to the city of Atlanta, but we're definitely not a suburb. We're removed from the city, the outskirts of the city. About an hour to the mountains, 3 hours to the coast. The state of Georgia is a beautiful place to live, great climate, and the city of Athens is a wonderful place with lots going on, lots a vibrant art scene, great music scene. Um, so a lot to recommend living in Athens. The University of Georgia is the flagship land-grant university in the state of Georgia. It's a top 20 public university for over a decade, according to U.S. News and World Report. It's a very comprehensive university. Sort of every academic program you might think of is represented at the university. We are, as a Department of Statistics, we're located in the Franklin College of Arts and Sciences, which is about half the university. But of course, we have an ag school a College of Veterinary Medicine, journalism, education, law, business, and the full gamut. Since I've been here, College of Public Health and College of Engineering have come on, and we'll have a School of Medicine starting in the fall and a School of Nursing in the fall of 27. It's a pretty big university, 43,000 students, of which around 11,000 are graduate students. The Department of Statistics is of good size. We have 34 faculty members, 21 of whom are tenure track. We've got a pretty large non-tenure track faculty, including 9 lecturers and a couple of academic professionals. We have a couple of limited term faculty members right now, and those folks will go away next year, but again, we're hiring. So we'll stay at about 33 faculty next year. There's a pretty wide range of interests among our faculty in terms of research. Years ago, we were quite a theoretically oriented department, but we have moved with the field toward applications, and it's hard to pigeonhole us now. We're quite broad in the things that we do. If I had to pick one thing that we have perhaps the most expertise in, I would say time series analysis, but also people are doing research in lots of other areas, including big data analytics, bioinformatics and omics applications, statistical machine learning, design of experiments, high dimensional inference, and many other things. We have 4 graduate programs, a PhD in statistics, a master's in statistics, a master's in data science, which is joint with our School of Computing here. And we've just recently launched a master's in applied data science, which is an online program. We also have undergraduate majors in statistics and data science, and the latter of which, again, is joint with our School of Computing. We've got about 45 PhD students and about 42 master's students all told. Actually, if you throw in our online students in our new program, there's another 16 of those, and that number will be growing pretty rapidly over the next few years. We have 291 undergraduate majors, and at this point, our data science major is outgrown our stat major, and it's probably growing more rapidly, and we'll probably see that trend continue over the next few years. The backdrop under which we're hiring right now is one where the university has placed a lot of emphasis on data science and artificial intelligence. Our former provost who left Jack Hu has gone to UC Riverside in the summer. He devoted about 70 faculty positions over the last few years to data science and artificial intelligence to address key societal challenges. Also reorganized the Institute of Artificial Intelligence and brought in new leadership for that unit. We were the beneficiaries of some of those positions. We hired two people in artificial intelligence, data science, and the dynamics of infectious diseases. We filled a position in environmental AI. And then the last couple of faculty hires that we've had on our tenure track line include people with interest in Bayesian statistics, deep learning, neuroimage analysis, and spatial statistics. As I mentioned, we launched our online master's degree in applied data science just recently, and so growing that program is a priority for the department. And our partnerships with the School of Computing and joint appointments, or affiliations, I should say, with the Institute for Artificial Intelligence give us strong ties to those 2 units. Statistics and data science is well positioned here at the university. It fits very, very well within college and university priorities. So I kind of expect that the department will continue to have resources come its way in the coming years. So I think we're kind of in a good position right now. And I think that's probably reflective of trends nationally. Our current position is at the assistant or associate level. We're hiring in the area of statistical machine learning, big data analytics, uncertainty quantification, integration of complex multimodal data sources, interpretable AI, and or the statistical foundations of AI. So that's quite a mouthful, but we are looking for someone who's working at the intersection of statistics and artificial intelligence. Our position has a soft deadline of January 9th, which is still more than a month away. So you have plenty of time to apply if you're interested. And I provided the link here in this slide. With that, I will cede the floor. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. The next speaker is Dan Nettleton. Please, Dan.
Yeah, good afternoon. So yeah, my name is Dan Nettleton. I am chair of the Department of Statistics at Iowa State University. I've been at Iowa State. I'm in my 26th year here in the department, and I am in the midst of my 7th year as department chair. Iowa State University is in Ames, Iowa, for those who aren't familiar. Ames, Iowa is a community of about 75,000 people. It is dominated by the university, which has a little over 30,000 students. It is often highly rated as one of the top college towns in the nation, and it's a great place to live. And I have enjoyed living here for almost 26 years now. I like living about 2.6 miles from campus and riding my bike when the weather permits, which is most of the time, although not today. But anyway, Ames is a great community, and I want you to know a little bit about that, but also about the department. So we're one of the first and largest departments of statistics in the country. We became a department in 1947 officially, and so we're approaching our 80th year as a department. That will come soon. Before we were a Department of Statistics, we had what was known as the Statistical Laboratory, which was founded in 1933. And so there's a very long history of statistics here. That Statistical Laboratory functioned as a department with faculty in the Department of Mathematics, helping researchers understand the statistical tools of the day and helping them learn how to apply those tools to the research that they were doing in agriculture and other areas. George Snedeker was the founder of that department and did a wonderful job of connecting statistics and science. And that's a legacy that we're very proud of and one that we, are still engaged in today. So connecting statistics and science. We currently have 36 faculty in the department. 28 of those are tenured or tenure track faculty. We also have 6 term teaching faculty. And I'll say more about teaching faculty this morning because we do have a position this year. We're often hiring 1 or more people each year. This year, the opening that we have is for a term teaching faculty position rather than a tenure track faculty position. I'll talk a little bit about that to help you understand that. But so 36 faculty, 28 tenure track, 6 teaching faculty, and we also have 2 part-time research faculty. We have a large graduate program, so more than 100 funded PhD students in statistics. And historically, the graduate program has been the heart of our departmental activities and continues to be, very important to us. And we've had many outstanding students over the years. And I know there's at least one of them on this meeting, I've noticed from the chat. Anyway, students have been great here, and we have great opportunities for graduate students. And if you're a prospective faculty member to join our department, great opportunities to work with good graduate students. We have a smaller undergraduate program. About 80 undergraduate students are majoring in statistics here at Iowa State. But it's a program that we want to continue to grow. Like Dan Hall mentioned at Georgia, we also have a data science program, which has grown larger than the undergrad stat program, even though it's a fairly new program. Many of the students majoring in data science also get a double major in stat. And so and we're part of the data science program. We teach courses for that program, and the director of that program is one of our faculty here in the Department of Statistics. Another thing that is nice about our department is we're a highly respected department within Iowa State University. We have the opportunity to collaborate with a lot of the other departments on campus and are appreciated for the work that we do and the help that we provide, which helps us, gain resources within the university. And then we're also a top 20 ranked graduate program according to U.S. News and World Reports, and have been, in that top 20 for quite a while. So I mentioned our search this year. Our search is for an assistant teaching professor, and in particular, we're looking for somebody to help us teach courses for students in our Master of Applied Statistics program. This is an online program, a fully online program designed to help working professionals or others add statistical credentials to the training that they've received previously. And we just launched that program this fall and are offering courses to students. And that's a growing program, and we're looking for somebody to help us teach those students. The assistant teaching professor in stat would teach other things beyond just the Master of Applied Statistics courses. And so there would be good opportunities for teaching graduate students from other departments about how to use statistics in research. Also good opportunities for teaching undergraduate students about statistics. So there are many teaching opportunities, both in person and online, for the position that we have open this year. Similar to Dan's position, we have a January 9 closing date, so there's still plenty of time to apply for those who are interested in a teaching position. Our teaching positions are term positions rather than tenured or tenure track positions, and so it's a 3-year contract. But the faculty that we have in these positions, the most senior people have been here for a long time, and we're really hoping to hire somebody who will come here and be excellent at this job and love it and want to stay for their whole career. And we fully expect that that's possible for these kind of positions. The teaching faculty play a really important role in our program and are valuable for our success. And they're fully integrated members of our department, and so they engage in the faculty meetings and have voting rights and are right alongside the tenured and tenure track faculty in our department. Okay, and I'll get to, I haven't been monitoring all the questions, but I saw the question about requirements, and I'll get to that here in a second. Yeah, and I'll just add that whenever we bring somebody into the department, and we really want to have a department that supports everybody and gives them the resources they need to be successful in our program. And we really want everybody to really thrive and ideally, do excellent work and love their job. We really want people who are valuable for the department, but also valued by the department. And we try to do a great job of valuing many types of contributions in the department. So those include teaching and research and service contributions, among many others. So yeah, ideally we have people who love this job and love this place and enjoy their time here. So regarding the qualifications for the job, so all our at Iowa State, all our job postings have both required qualifications and preferred qualifications. And by the way, it should be easy to find all these things online. You can easily find our department and read about it. You can find our job posting online if you just look up, Iowa State University jobs. You can find our posting for a term assistant teaching professor. So as I mentioned, for all our jobs that we advertise, there are required minimum qualifications. And those in this case are a Master of Science in Statistics or a closely related field at the time of appointment, and teaching experience at the university or college level. So those are the minimum qualifications, meaning that, in order to be considered further for the position, you need to have those things satisfied by your past experiences and background. Once those things are satisfied, then you're evaluated according to the preferred qualifications for the position. Okay, and the preferred qualifications for our position this year is a PhD in statistics or closely related field by the time of appointment. So master's required, PhD is preferred. Teaching experience as the instructive record in statistics at the college or university level. So having some teaching experience where you're in charge, that's a preferred qualification, not required, but preferred. And then another preferred qualification is experience with developing, revising, and teaching online courses. And so as you're thinking about applications for any of our positions, this one or others in the future, or other positions that you might see, it's good to know that you need to have the minimum qualifications to sort of make it through that, to pass that step. That's just a binary typically. Do you have the required qualifications or not? If you do have those minimum required qualifications, then the way the applications are ranked and scored is based on the preferred qualifications that are stated in the job posting. So as you're thinking about applying for our job, you would like to address those preferred qualifications or make sure that those preferred qualifications are addressed in your application, right? So that we can see, yes, this is how you have this preferred qualification, and this is the extent to which you've addressed that preferred qualification. But you shouldn't assume that you won't have a chance if you don't feel like you can really nail every preferred qualification. They're stated as preferences, but maybe not all candidates will have those. The candidates are going to be scored by how well they meet those preferred qualifications. And then, that scoring of the search committee will determine, which candidates emerge to the top and which candidates will get opportunities for interviews. Okay, so first piece of advice is address preferred qualifications when you're thinking about applying for a position. So just a little bit more about how interview processes work here, and I assume it's similar at many other places. We have typically online interviews for, say, 10 to 12 candidates. So those are determined, again, by the search committee deciding how well the preferred qualifications are met by the candidates. And then the search committee meets with each candidate. They ask a series of pre-planned questions, and then candidates answer the questions. Okay, and so typically for us, that online screening for the top 10 to 12 candidates that get picked, that's not an opportunity for the candidate to present slides. And so sometimes candidates will come into that meeting and think they can kind of like tell their story with their slides. It's just an opportunity to talk to the candidate and have a back and forth where the committee asks a question and the candidate answers the question. Okay, and so it's done without slides. It's just a conversation, and you need to be able to demonstrate your ability to answer questions and proceed. They're usually open-ended questions, briefly introduce yourself and tell us why you're interested in our position. Tell us about your research if there's research part of the job. For the teaching position, there's not. It's a focus on research. All right. So I think that's the main thing, is that there'll be some open-ended questions. You need to think about what the question you've been asked, and then answer that question as best as you can. Speak to the question, and focus on your answer to the question that you've been asked. If you're selected as one of the top performers based on your application materials and that online interview, then you might be invited to campus for an interview. And at Iowa State, we typically have a dinner with the search committee on the first night of the interview. And then there's an all-day interview with lots of meetings with people and opportunities to do a job talk. And then exit interview with the department chair, which would be me. And then I often like to have breakfast with the candidate on the third day on their, right before they head out of town, and check if there's any questions that they have about the position, and then just discuss, how they feel about their experience, and just go over any sort of last thoughts that the candidate might have about the job. So I know I have only about 4 minutes left here. So what I want to give you some interview advice. Okay, so this is my interview advice. So first of all, try to enjoy the experience of interviewing. Okay, it certainly can be stressful, but think of it as an opportunity to meet new people, an opportunity to learn about a new place that you may not know that much about. And it's also an opportunity for you to tell your story. And I hope that that's an enjoyable experience for you. And it's great if you display curiosity about the people and place that you're visiting, and have, interest in the job, right? That certainly will help you be attractive to a hiring faculty. And if you can, it's great if you can explain how you see yourself contributing to the department. And of course, you don't necessarily know all the ways you might end up contributing, but you know some, right, about how you might be able to help the department be successful. And you don't have to be perfect. Just try to be at ease so that your true self can show through in the interview process. And Yeah, and I think yeah, I can try to answer some of the other questions I saw in the chat later, but I think those are I'll leave it there since I think my time is up.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. I have also taken notes of the questions, so we will address them later for sure. The next speaker is going to be Solomon Harrar, and he's from the University of Kentucky. Solomon, if you're speaking, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you very much to NISS for organizing this, and thank you, Luca, for the introduction. So are we good on this now? You can see my slides. Okay, good.
Yes, we can see them.
Yeah, so this is about the open positions we have in the Department of Statistics, or correctly say the Dr. Bing Zhang Department of Statistics here at the University of Kentucky. My name is Solomon Harrar. I'm one of the professors here. So this would be what I would be touching on in this presentation. So a little bit about the department. The Department of Statistics was founded in 1967. It's about 58 years old now. It's named as the Dr. Bing Zhang Department of Statistics in 2020. We are in the College of Arts and Sciences, and we're one of the 21 academic units within the college. We have bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Science in Statistics and Data Science, which was started in 2004. We have also master's and PhD program that are as old as the department itself. And we have Master of Applied Statistics. It's a fully online master's program, professional master's program, which was launched around 2017. And we have a graduate certificate in Applied Statistics program, which is also fully online, and minor in statistics for undergraduates. So this is a picture showing our graduate student population, master's and PhD students. As you can see, we have a very diverse group of graduate students in our program. We have about 68 majors right now enrolled in the fall semester, and 40 students, MS PhD students. We have a combined MS PhD program, a 5-year program, and we have 20 students in the pipeline for the Master of Applied Statistics. Our MS and PhD students are fully funded through TA or RA positions. In terms of faculty, we have 12 what we call regular title series faculty. These are normal tenure track faculty that you see elsewhere in R1 or high research institutions. Out of these 12, 5 are full professors, 1 is associate, and 6 are assistant professors. We have also another series, which is called the lecturer title series, another type of appointment. We have 2 senior lecturers and 4 lecturers. This is mainly a teaching focused position. And we have 100% research focused position, which is a research title series. We have 2 new positions open that we're hiring right now for. I'll talk more about them in a second. So within the department, we have 1 research staff and 1 office manager. And we're located in the southern side of campus on the 3rd floor of the multidisciplinary science building. We have a beautiful campus here, by the way. So this is the composition of the faculty we have. Right now, we have about 19 faculty members total, including lecturers, research, and regular title series, the regular tenure track positions. Our department has been lucky with, or has been lucky with endowment, gifts, and alumni. We keep a very strong tie with our alumni. We're named by one of our alumni, Dr. Bing Zhang, who was a student here in the 80s or 90s. He has made a very significant amount of endowment. So we have named professorship positions, we have graduate student support, we have a named chair position, and others. So what this all means is we have ample travel and equipment funds for faculty members. So here is a picture showing on the left our founder, Richard Anderson, and our benefactors, the primary benefit, the major benefactors, the Bing and Rachel Zhang. Okay, let me talk a little bit about the positions that are open right now. We have two positions, like I said. One is assistant professor in statistics. To be exact, this position is assistant professor in undergraduate education. The required qualification for it is PhD in statistics or closely related field. This is required. It is a special title series. This is different from the regular title series that I mentioned earlier that most of the faculty members have here, like the research faculty members have here. So this special title series position has 75% teaching, 15% research, and 10% service roles. So the focus of this position is undergraduate education. Like I said earlier, it's a 9-month tenure track position. And the tenure clock and the review process is similar to the regular title series. I'll talk a little bit about this later. Application materials include CV, cover letter, teaching statement, research statement, and name of 3 references. And the research statement should focus on experience and plans for collaborative research. So to talk a little bit more about the duties. So teaching, like I said, is 75% effort. It includes undergraduate course instruction, capstone advising, capstone leadership, which includes curation of data sets for the capstone projects, and capstone leadership, which means maintenance of infrastructure for experiential learning for our SDS or Bachelor of Science students. They also have a 15% research effort, which is going to be collaborative research with the PATS Hub. PATS Hub is a collaborative framework within our department. It has a consulting component, otherwise other collaborative engagements. So this 15% research expectation includes research that can be done within the PATS Hub. Also, it includes undergraduate research and other pedagogical research. We don't expect methodological research from this individual. There's also 10% service effort allocation. These services could be departmental committee works or support the recruitment of the undergraduate major, or it could be a college level service, university level, or service to the profession. This picture shows the promotional timeline for the assistant professor position. As you can see here, there are 2 mandatory reviews within the 6th year, within the first 6 years, and at the 6th year is when the candidate will be considered for tenure and promotion. So in the interim, as you can see, there are also other reviews that's done at the 3rd and 4th year. These are just checkpoints to make sure that things are going in the right direction. That's about the assistant professor position. The other position we have here is a lecturer in the statistics position. This is what's called in the lecturer title series. This is not a tenure track position. Again, this is a 9-month position, and we prefer the candidate to have a PhD in statistics, but this is a preference, not required. We encourage also others, for example, those who have masters in statistics and with relevant experience and background to apply. The expectation for effort allocation is 90% instruction, 5% service, and 5% professional development. So the assigned duties would include undergraduate instruction, primarily in courses at 100 to 300 level. And they're expected to mentor undergraduate students as needed. And also they're expected to do some departmental service. For this position, they're initially appointed for 2 years with a potential for renewal. And if the renewal happens and if this candidate goes on to the 5th year, they are eligible to apply for a promotion to senior lecturer position. For this position, we require evidence of teaching excellence. Also, we expect, we prefer if the candidate has skills to teach and coordinate large classes. Let me talk a little bit about the PATSAP, because the assistant professor position has some role or some duties somewhat connected with the PATSAP. By the way, the PATSAP stands for Predictive Analytics and Data Science Hub. This is part of the department, and it provides a framework for collaboration, training, and consulting and methodological development. It has 3 cores: the training core, consulting core, and methodological core. Faculties and graduate students are engaged in this hub. And the hub also provides RF funding for a pretty significant number of our graduate students. So the projects that are coming to the PATSAP are paired with personnel, faculty, staff, or RA. So it's in the real sense of collaboration, and it provides for graduate students a good research experience, collaborative research experience with all kind of the benefits that has. So this PATSAP has a total of $106.8 million in external collaborative funding from, it has been involved in this much of collaborative research funding. And in 2024, 2025, 17.3 million was awarded, in which the PATSAP was involved. So like we said, the assistant professor position will work in close collaboration with the PATSAP, as that person would be the liaison between the bachelor's, the data science program, and the PATSAP. So to give you a little bit more in terms of numbers, so this is the volume of projects the hub is receiving. As you can see here, the vast majority is a data analysis type project. 113 projects that were received in the 2025 fiscal year. And also we collaborate with almost all colleges within the university, 11 out of 18 total colleges. And the vast majority of the collaboration occurs with the College of Medicine, College of Health Sciences, and College of Agriculture. To say a few things about the university is found in Lexington, Kentucky, which has about 300,000 inhabitants. So the university is the state's flagship institution. We have close to 39,000 enrollment as of fall 2025, as of September 2025. The university has 18 colleges, academic colleges. And according to the Forbes, in 2023, it was voted that as the 10 best large employers nationwide. This happens to be largely due to the great healthcare insurance benefits and the 200% match on retirement contributions and the tuition benefits. So in summary, we have two positions open, assistant professor in statistics and a lecturer position. The assistant professor in statistics is a special title series, and the lecturer position is not tenure eligible. Both of them are 9 months positions. We have a mid-sized department here with a total faculty of 19 people. And the PATSAP is a research framework or collaborative research framework housed within our department. We are a well-funded, well-favored department by the college, and our funding, we have a lot of funding from endowment, gifts, PATSAP, etc. And the university as a whole is a very large university, and Lexington is a vibrant city, and Kentucky is a horse and bourbon country. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Solomon. Next, we have Nilay, Tanık, Argon from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Please.
Thanks, Luca.
Nilay, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Redoing. My name is Nilay Tanık, and I'm a professor in the Department of Statistics and Operations Research. I am also an associate chair in the department at UNC Chapel Hill. This is my 19th year in the department. By training, I'm an industrial engineer and operations research. I'm not a statistician, but spending long times with in a Department of Statistics and Operations Research, I can say that I'm truly becoming one. All right, so our department is kind of unique, having both statistics and operations research under one roof. I'm going to get to the history in a minute, but we are an interdisciplinary department, and we cover several areas in terms of research and teaching. Statistics being the main one, and then we recently hired several faculty in machine learning, and then probability group is pretty large in our department. Traditionally, probability groups are housed under mathematics department, but here at UNC, we are very, very lucky to have the probability group together with the statistics and operations research group. Then we have optimization and stochastic modeling, which are covering the two main areas of operations research. Our department historically started as a very theoretical department, but in the last couple of decades, we've been including more and more applicational work. So you would find several faculty who do very theoretical work, some faculty who do very applied work, and most of us are somewhere in between or both. Like I said, we're very interdisciplinary within the department, but also across the university, we collaborate with several others. Biology, medicine, psychology, business, political science are some of the departments that we collaborate quite heavily. And then beyond the university, beyond our university, I'm going to talk more about this. We are in a vibrant research environment, being in a research triangle park, and we are collaborating with several folks in other universities like Duke and NC State. So a little bit of history of our department. We are one of the oldest departments. It was first established as the Department of Mathematical Statistics in 1946, and our founding chair is Harold Hotelling. Then Harold Hoteling and others hired several theoretical statistical faculty, but then also some operations research faculty to the department. But then the interest in operations research at UNC grew more. And then in 1973, they established a separate curriculum, later became a department in operations research. And some of the founding members were David Rubin, George Fishman. And then later in 2003, the administration decided to merge those two departments, seeing several overlaps. One of the main things is that those two departments at that time had a joint undergraduate program, which is now a flourishing program under the joint department. So currently our faculty, you're seeing a picture from 2023, I believe. We are even larger now. We have in total 31 tenure line professors, 5 teaching professors, and we recently hired a professor of practice for our growing master's program and handling our consulting course. We have several joint faculty, 3 joint faculty who have voting rights from biostatistics and business school, but many others adjunct faculty in the university as well. As I said earlier, we're covering a wide variety of research topics. Here on this slide, I tried to categorize them, but several of them are overlapping across disciplines, actually. The black ones are more statistical oriented, blues are probability, and reds are operations research. We have several folks who do high dimensional statistical inference. And like I said, machine learning and deep learning and AI has been an interest, a growing interest in our department. And on the applied side, statistical genomics, biomedicine, neuroscience, and climate science are some of the biggest topics. In probability, we have a large group who works on large random graphs and dynamic networks and apply those to epidemic social networks and opinion dynamics. Extreme value theory is a big topic again in our department, as well as stochastic analysis like large deviation, stochastic PDs, and mean field gains. In the optimization front, I must say we have a very theoretical group who work on continuous optimization, like semi-definite programming. But there are folks who also develop advanced numerical methods with applications to data science, and they collaborate with our statistics faculty and also faculty from School of Data Science. We recently hired several folks who are focused on reinforcement learning and data-driven decision-making and large language models. And finally, this is my area of research. I'm a stochastic modeler, and I apply there are 2 more faculty who work on service and healthcare operations. We use queuing theory and use simulations to improve emergency response and patient flow. We work collaboratively with medical school here at UNC. That we offer several degrees in the department. We have 2 undergraduate degrees, BS in Statistics and Analytics and BA in Data Science. BS in Statistics and Analytics have been around for more than 20 years, but recently the interest to this degree grew exponentially. We have about 800 majors and several minors. BA in Data Science, we started offering this last year, and quickly it's reached 400 majors. I should add that we have a separate School of Data Science and Society at UNC, and they have a separate major BS in Data Science. We, in the department, offer several of their courses, although this is a completely separate degree. We have a master's degree in Statistics, Analytics, and Data Science, and this degree we've been revamping it for the last couple of years, and we're admitting more students. And this has a differentiated tuition, meaning that a big chunk of the tuition will directly come to the department to support our education mission. And then we are well known for our PhD program in statistics and operations research. About 7 years ago, we had 2 separate statistics and operations research programs and doctoral programs, but we merged these. It's a unified program. In the program, we have about 68 students currently, but this ranges from 60 to 70. And our program is ranked 11th among all statistics programs in the nation. There's no rankings in operations research. Well, one nice thing about our department that I've observed over the years is that faculty choose to stay for the long term at UNC store. And when we think about this, when we discuss this all the time in the department, why is this? First, that comes to mind is the departmental culture. Especially this last decade or so, we became a very genuinely supportive community of faculty, students, and staff. Like we have a nice lunch table where faculty, staff, and students and postdocs eat lunch together almost every day. And the lunch table is not too big, so we rotate. And then it's obviously an intellectually very vibrant environment, being this diverse. And we value collaboration a lot. Most of our PhD students are now jointly advised. It's not just advising in the same group, but across groups. Like I'm currently advising several students with machine learning faculty. And we offer formal and mentoring to junior faculty, like in other departments, but we also offer informal mentoring. We match junior faculty informally with others, not within their formal mentoring committee to be their advocates in the department. UNC is, of course, one of the other reasons that we tend to stay here. It's one of the oldest public universities. It has a beautiful campus, and our building, Haynes Hall, which I showed the picture at the beginning, is right in the middle of campus. UNC has been ranking among top 10 research universities for several years now. We value liberal arts education a lot in UNC, and it is woven into the STEM education beautifully. And one of the other drawing things to the department is the fact that we have two strong schools. One is School of Medicine, and the other one is School of Public Health. And several of our faculty, including myself, we collaborate with folks there in these schools. Of course, if you like sports, especially basketball, UNC is a heaven. And I can't say the same thing as football or football. Chapel Hill is a wonderful town. If you visited here, you already know. It has, great restaurants and vibrant art scene. It's a great place to raise family. It has a very strong K-12 school district. And even though it's a small town, it doesn't feel isolated at all because of the existence of Durham and Raleigh close by, and it's close to shopping. And we have a large airport, RD, Raleigh-Durham Airport, right in the middle of Research Triangle. So we are one of the edges on the triangle, UNC, and the other edges are Duke and NC State. So we're in terms of distance closest to Duke. It takes about 20 minutes to Duke, and our students actually can take courses at Duke and NC State. So there are buses running between these three universities all the time. And of course, the other thing is the Research Triangle Park right in the middle that houses several big companies from GlaxoSmithKline, IBM, Cisco. And then the other thing is SAS, of course, is located in Cary, and they support several of our PhD students, and we collaborate not just with other universities in the area, but also with these companies. Chapel Hill and Durham are well known for their health systems, and the UNC Health and Duke Health are some of the biggest employers. And we also collaborate. They're also very big places for research, so we collaborate with them as well. Obviously, the location of Chapel is very convenient. We are right in the middle of the North Carolina. So if you would like to, if you're more of a mountains person, it's 3.5 hours away. The Appalachians, and then during summer we have beautiful beaches that are only 2.5 hours away. Well, we are hiring this year two fixed-term teaching faculty for two fixed-term teaching faculty positions to begin in July next year. And one of the positions is focused on actuarial science. So actuarial science is a big thing in our interest in our undergraduate major. So several of our students end up being finding jobs in actuarial science, like insurance industry, and they take courses to study for the exams. So we are looking for a faculty member who can teach these courses. And the requirements are a PhD in statistics or mathematics or operations research, and a relevant discipline in that could teach courses in actuarial science. The second position is more general in statistics and data science. We're especially looking for folks who can teach AI, LLMs, or the social and ethical considerations. So this person is going to be teaching several of our courses in under BA in data science. The application portal will close very soon, next week. So if you're interested, then please act quick and apply to these two positions. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Nilay. So the next speaker is going to be Eric Chicken from Florida State University. Please, Eric.
All right, thanks. Let me share. Hopefully you're seeing just the single screen. So I'm Eric Chicken. I'm a professor and the chair here at the Department of Statistics at FSU. I've been here about 25 years now, and this is my first term as chair, so I'm just ending my third year and will probably be chair for another 3. Our department is getting close to its 70th, so we were founded in 1959. We currently have 24 tenure-track faculty and 4 specialized faculty. Some are specialized teaching, some are specialized research. We have about 200 undergraduate students and about 150 graduate students. Of our graduate students, about 70 are teaching assistants, and we have at any given time around 10 RAs, research assistants. We offer a variety of degrees: biostatistics, MS and PhD, statistical data science and MS. And then for statistics, that's undergrad, BS, and then MS and PhD. We're also part of an interdisciplinary data science MS program with the departments of math, linguistics, computer science. So we have our own data science degree, and we're part of an interdisciplinary one as well. And I will say that in the interdisciplinary one, we're the largest portion of that. The school itself, 1851, FSU was founded. Right now, we're around 45,000 students, and that's 11,000 grad students. The rest, the other 34,000, would be undergrads. 2,700 faculty, approximately. If you like rankings, we're 21 among publics, U.S. News World Report, and I believe our department is the same. It's 21 among public statistics departments. We're located here in Tallahassee. That's the lower left picture. What you're looking at is the Capitol complex down that road. So it's a state capital. 250,000 people live here. We're 18 miles to the Gulf of Mexico. That's just straight south, beaches as soon as you get there. We're 250 miles to what we call the Mouse here, which is Orlando and all the theme parks that exist there. It's a lovely place. I grew up on a farm in Wisconsin, and believe it or not, I actually enjoy living in Florida. It has its moments. So what are we doing? My department has been in a growth mode for quite a while. This year, we're hiring 4 faculty. 3 are tenure track, assistant professor rank, 9-month, and 1 is going to be a teaching professor. So it would be a specialized faculty adding to our teaching faculty, and that's a 12-month assignment. The start date is fall 2026, so next fall. Unfortunately, we've already closed our window for our tenure track positions. That closed on November 14th, and in fact, we're well into our hiring process now with many candidates having come and gone already. But for the teaching track position, that remains open until January 15th. I will say we'll almost certainly be hiring next year more tenure track. We've hired 2 or 3 faculty every year for the last 3 or 4 years, partly due to some people leaving, retirements, but also because we're in a growth mode. FSU has designated our department as an area of interest because of data science and also because of our biostatistics group. FSU Health is getting up and running. We had a med school here since about 2005, but it was not a research medical school. Only recently has it branded itself as FSU Health and begun building research buildings and opening up clinical facilities that the university will run. And our department provides the biostatistics help support for the med school as it gears up. So, for example, we're hiring 3 assistant professors this year, and 2 of them we're designating to be into this biostatistics track. So our faculty, well, there's our building, upper left. Oh, by the way, you'll notice it's a little low res, but it says oceanography and statistics. And an example of our growth, when I got here, we had 1 floor of the oceanography and statistics building. We had the 2nd floor. At this point, we have the entire building, 5 floors. And we've filled it up with a lot of faculty, a lot of students, classrooms, visualization labs. So it's quite exciting that every couple of years, we just moved and got another floor of the building. And down there is our mascot, that is Stat Kitty. It's a feral cat that lives in those bushes you can see there. But getting back to the text here, our faculty, 24 tenure track faculty with research across many areas. So I happen to do non-parametrics, but we have people doing imaging, biostatistics, of course, as I've said, in support of FSU Health. Network is a big, many of our young people enjoy doing network analysis, differential privacy, machine learning, and as well as how that relates with our data science. Of our 24 faculty tenure track, 12 are juniors. So we have 12 assistant professors and then we have 12 tenured professors. So it's interesting that half our faculty are young and energetic and doing research in really the latest, hottest areas. Our teaching faculty, our assistant professors teach 1-on-1 up until they get tenure. And we don't give them any service. Their focus is on research. That's what FSU wants our department to do, research. So our tenure track faculty are heavily encouraged, and we give them the opportunity to do as much research as they can by reducing teaching and service. The teaching faculty hires we do, they're typically 3, and 1. So 3 fall and spring and 1 class in the summer. Recall it's a 12-month. And we give course reductions for any bit of service. And all our teaching faculty are on course reductions, whether they're a large lecture supervisor or whether they do some TA evaluations or they're the undergrad director. All of these provide them with some teaching reductions. Because we have such varied research interests across our faculty, when we do our hiring, we rarely specify that we're looking for somebody in a particular field, at least with our tenure track. But in general, what we look for a tenure track hire, research potential in a modern and relevant area in statistics. So perhaps we're probably not looking at people specializing in, heat tests or something. It's going to be things, what we'd like to say is on the cutting edge, or if you like, things that have a high potential for funding. We look for teaching experience. We do have a 1-on-1 teaching load for the tenure track. They don't need to be excellent teachers. Being an excellent teacher as a tenure track faculty would probably not get you tenure. It's going to be based on research. But teaching will be part of your duties, and so it is something that we have to review and rate people on. And really, we're looking for somebody who's excited to do research, and that's what we pick up after they've been reviewed on paper with their applications and then brought to campus for an interview. We're looking for people who are excited to do research. Likewise, for those who are coming in for a teaching line, which is the one of our 4 hires that's still accepting applications. So here, not just teaching experience, we're looking for significant teaching experience, as well as some excellence that they've displayed in the classroom. And that excellence has to be backed up with evaluations or perhaps in your letters. Also, our hires should be excited, just like our tenure track should be excited about research. We want teaching faculty who are excited to be in a classroom and who want to grow the program, who want to be working in building or updating our curriculum, developing new courses, changing the way we teach our courses, learning, being interested in some pedagogical study. In all our hires, whether they're tenure track or these specialized faculty, we also want people who are interested in both FSU and the department. And that's already been mentioned by the other faculty who've spoken today. We hope that people who come here are going to make a career out of it. We're looking for somebody who wants to be here and do the work here and be part of our community that we have in our department. One thing that we always emphasize to our candidates when they are either vetted over Zoom, if we do that, or when they come for an on-campus interview, it's this top bullet. We don't want to hire anyone who's not going to be successful here. It's just not to our advantage or to us to spend time and then years of salary on somebody who then leaves because they weren't successful. So our goal is to try to get somebody who's going to be successful in our estimation during the interview process and give them an offer and get them here. So that's based on potential. Certainly, once people get here, there are always unforeseen roadblocks or stumbling blocks that could occur, and we don't want that to stop people from being successful. So we do what we can to help people be a success, either as a tenure track faculty, a research faculty, or a teaching faculty if they're in our specialized slots. So we provide mentoring from senior faculty, and that has taken on a lot of different guises over the years. It just depends on who your mentor is. Certainly, the mentors are always there to help you, give you advice, let you know if you're doing well or if you should try harder. Other mentors do things like make people co-PIs or work on grant proposals together, or review each other's class notes and exams, or even sit in on classes. So we have an active mentoring program. All our assistant professors and all our teaching faculty who haven't yet been promoted to the second rank of teaching, they all have a mentor. We're always looking for collaboration opportunities. We're 24 people, but that's small enough that we know each other and get along, and we're always looking for collaboration amongst each other. I love it. I'm on the fourth floor of my building. I walk outside of my office and I see faculty talking to each other in their hallway or in the doors of their offices, and they're not talking about football, they're talking about research. So there's a lot of collaboration going on. They enjoy it, and it helps people be successful. There's no doubt. We have a teaching academy of sorts here. It's called the Center for Advancement of Teaching, and they have a nonstop schedule of seminars, short courses, help groups, peer groups that help anybody who's starting to have a little trouble with their teaching. We realize a lot of the tenure track come in without much prep for teaching, and yet we throw them in front of a class of students anyway. So if issues occur, this teaching academy is there, and we've made use of it, and it's very helpful. The people in charge of that academy are professional teaching faculty, and they can help anybody out. We provide opportunities for professional development. Startup money goes for travel, equipment. People go to professional training. They go to conferences, anything they feel would be useful to help them be successful. And finally, we just give a lot of frequent feedback. Annual evals are done for all faculty at all ranks. They never end. So people know how they're doing. Junior faculty get more in-depth evals, especially as they come up for promotion. It becomes quite intense, the amount of feedback that they're looking at. And I guess that's it, yeah. So that's about all I had prepared, talking about trying to stop sharing here. That's all I have for now. I guess I'll turn it back over to our moderator.
Sure, thank you. So I've seen like some answers given to some questions on the chat. Unfortunately, those answers went to only the host and the panelists, so the audience wasn't able to see it. For Dan, would you like to reiterate on the question of Mohammed?
Sure, I'm happy to. I did copy that over to the Q&A board as well, but um, so the Mohammed asked about the difference between our master's in data science program and our master's in applied data science, and it's just one word, so of course that's a confusing a distinction from just the slide. But I think it sounds like our master's in applied data science program is pretty similar to the one at Iowa State that Dan Nettleton has there, although I'm not sure about that. But our master's in data science is a traditional in-person program that's actually offered joint with our School of Computing. It's similar in the way it's administered to our bachelor's in data science, and it's a traditional program. The barriers to entry for the applied data science are lower. It's meant to serve uh, professionals and others who are not in a position to take classes full time, and it's a 100% online program. So students take 2 courses at a time over 5 semesters and get done in just under 2 years. So an asynchronous online program with some lower barriers to entry.
Thank you. Then there was another question by Jong Yu, also for you, Daniel.
Yeah, let's see. Jong Yu, I think I will answer Jong Yu directly if I can. I encourage Jung Yu to apply to our program. I mean, he was asking specifically about background and whether it's suitable for the position, and the short answer is yes, absolutely. I think that your application would be highly valued, and we'd love to see you submit an application.
Okay, thank you. For Dan Nettleton, I've seen some questions on the chat that may need an answer. For example, what type of courses the new hire might need to teach at Iowa State?
Yeah, great. So for our teaching position that supports the Master of Applied Statistics, the program involves 10 courses. One of those courses is actually a experiential learning in like an internship. And so that's not taught in a traditional way, but I can just quickly read the subjects of the other courses. So statistical methods for data analysis, experimental design, there's a probability and statistics course, there's a statistical computing course, there's a course on statistical machine learning and artificial intelligence. There's a time series course, Bayesian methods course, multivariate data analysis course, and then finally a course on statistical consulting. And so those are all the courses that we offer as part of that Master of Applied Statistics. 10 courses total, can be completed in 15 months by somebody that goes, full on into it. But this position, the person that we would hire in this position would help teach those courses, but also might teach, introductory stat courses for the in-person for the university community. They might teach some of those same courses in person for graduate students from other departments. So we have a long history here of offering statistics courses that are really important for the university community at the graduate level. And so working with graduate students from other departments on, how do you analyze data? How do you design studies and experiments? Those are the type of courses that we might teach. And that ranges from social science to ag and biological sciences to engineering. We offer courses for the whole university community. So there's an opportunity to teach lots of different courses. And this person would be focusing on not courses for graduate students in statistics, but basically any other courses at the graduate or undergraduate level.
Yeah, thank you. There is also another question for you. What are the opportunities to develop new courses within your department?
Yeah, so that's great. I mean, we're right now the Master of Applied Statistics has no elective courses. It's just 10 courses, and that's all the students can take. But we hope to build that out and offer electives so that those students could customize their program depending on their interests. And we'd certainly be interested in any topics that might be useful for students who want to get a job as a statistician in the world. And so there'd be great opportunity to develop those kinds of courses. We're always thinking about what are the new topics that are really interesting. Some of the newest courses we've developed in the department are in sports analytics, which is an area that I'm interested in from a research standpoint, but there's also a lot of undergrad students and graduate students that are interested in that area. We place some students in industry. One of my former PhD students is the head research analytics person for the Buffalo Bills in the NFL. So I'm hoping the Bills will finally make it to the Super Bowl champions this year. But they've been doing very well, and that's yeah. So anyway, yeah, opportunity to develop new courses is always on the table for these kind of programs.
Yeah, thank you. For Solomon, we saw questions about where to access the information to apply for a faculty position in your university at Kentucky, University of Kentucky.
Yeah, thank you for the question. That's a great question. And I posted the website, the web addresses on the chat message and on the Q&A. But also we have posted this ad on major outlets, job posting outlets like the ASA career outlet or career center and the MAA career center, and also websites like the University of Florida, Florida State, Purdue University, University of Washington, NISS, NISS. So they're posted, our ad is posted there. And also we've had it posted on the ASA board, the messaging board, where they send emails every morning. So they can find the information there. Probably, I think their best bet would be to go to one of these websites, the Florida State, University of Florida, ASA, MAA, University of Washington, NISS. Would that answer the question, or?
I think it does for me. I don't know for the audience. However, I've seen Eric may have his hand up, please.
Yeah, I was going to follow up with what Dan had talked about with what kind of courses can be developed. Certainly, our tenure track develop new courses all the time, just because they have to keep the grad program relevant for the dissertation crowd. But our undergrad curriculum was entirely developed by our teaching faculty, and they continue to develop new courses now as we are getting ready to gear up a bachelor's degree in biostatistics. So they'll have a lot of opportunity for course development. So just wanted to throw that in as a follow-on to the other question.
Yes, thank you. I've seen another question that might be more general for foreign professors, if there is any requirement on nationalities. So please, any one of you.
Yeah, for University of Kentucky, we take applications from anywhere, regardless of visa status, if that's the question. So if at the time when it's time to make an offer, we'll assess if there are issues that impact our ability to offer the positions. So at this point, we cannot advise on visa matters. I think legally we're not probably allowed to do that, but here is what I can say.
For any other universities, is the same?
Same here. I mean, I already responded to Q&A. We don't have any nationality requirements, but of course, university is bound by the administration's rules in terms of visas. We've been supporting H-1B visas for any faculty, but yeah, we're following whatever the administration is imposing upon the university, but no, not at the application level.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could just throw in that, of course, I mean, nationality is a protected category, and that it's not going to be an obstacle to being considered for any of our positions, I'm sure. But the reality at the University of Georgia is that there there are not funds for widespread sponsorship at $100,000 per year of H-1B visas. So, so legal authorization to work is a consideration in the hiring process. That is not to say that sponsorship of such a visa will not be considered, but it is something that can't be guaranteed.
Okay, so on a different topic, I've been asked if there is any skills that are highly relevant for that you guys are seeking in possible applicants.
I can go first. I'm sure everybody has thoughts on this. You know, I think that a very crucial skill or characteristic is independence and maturity. And that comes at different stages for people. Whether you're being considered straight out of a PhD program or after a postdoc or for a more senior position, of course, that changes the expectations strongly. But even for someone that's coming straight out of a PhD program, I like to see that someone has thought quite a bit about where they're going in their research and beyond their particular dissertation topic and the connections that they've had with collaborators to this point in time. So to be able to see someone's trajectory and then to be able to move beyond the current research, I think is quite important. I think we look for people who will be well-rounded faculty members as well. There's quite a bit to the job of being a faculty member. And so unidimensionality is not a strength.
And is there a way that these skills can be acquired?
Well, I think that these skills, I agree with those skills. I would also say that when we look at somebody who wants to apply, it's good to see that they have an idea of where they're heading next, what their future holds, and what they can do with it, whether there's applications, patents, funding. And depending on what level they are as an applicant, they haven't necessarily had a lot of opportunity to display those skills. But what we want to see is that they've thought about them and that they have a plan for that. So in a sense, it's a good attitude about being a general faculty, a tenure track faculty, as opposed to a specialized faculty, as Daniel said, has to do everything. They have to govern the department. They have to sit on committees, advise students, develop courses, teach courses, deal with a lot of students. They better have a good personality that can deal with undergrad students on a day-to-day basis, because these schools that are here have tens of thousands of students, and every day one of them has an issue you might need to deal with. So we need to see somebody who can think on their feet and have good answers when we bring up questions, and be a mature person. I like that. They should be pretty mature. So what we don't want to see is somebody who hasn't thought about the future, or who shows up and doesn't have any questions for us, things of that sort.
Yes, thank you. So there are some other questions that I see on the Q&A. Most of them regard about publications outside doctoral dissertations, or if it is nice to have like some approaches with unpublished manuscripts, or what to do in those cases.
I can jump in. So it depends on the career stage the candidate is on. For a fresh PhD, I think, I mean, at least in my department, it's totally okay if the student has only written papers with the advisor. But if it's someone later in their career, obviously, like an early postdoc or a recent tenure track, we would like to see independence. But not for, I'm assuming this question was for a PhD student, but it's not required that they work with others apart from their PhD advisors.
Thank you. There is another question about non-permanent positions. If the candidates on OPT with STEM extension qualifies.
So we've interviewed and get applications from people on a variety of status of visa. And as I said before, we're going to interview somebody based on how good they look compared to all the other candidates, all the other applicants. But certainly a job offer would depend on if their visa is going to run out before they can get here, or it just comes down to something that has to be worked through with people beyond FSU. So I will say that we've never run into an issue where we weren't able to work it out. So, for example, we've had to hire people earlier than we thought, like to give them a summer position, because otherwise they'd have been in the boat where they had to leave the country, and who knows when they'd come back. So we do what we can to help people, but everyone needs to be aware that if you're in an unusual situation, it could have an effect when it comes time to getting through all the paperwork with the hiring people above me. So I'm thinking the people at the administration of FSU. They're the ones who are going to dig into the details and say, we can't hire this person unless certain things happen very quickly. But we do our best. When we find somebody we want, we do what we can to get them in.
Thank you. We still have 2 minutes, so there are still some questions, but I think there is only time for one, unless you guys prefer to answer directly on the chat. I think the last one would be if it is helpful to collaborate with faculties outside the home department during the PhD, if the ultimate career goal is to enter the tenure track job market.
So if this is a question about somebody who's already been hired and is working through trying to get to tenure, certainly collaborating outside your discipline is almost an expectation of a statistician, that people always come to us and say, can you help me? So it's not unusual for people to have papers in hydrology or physics or education. If the question is more about, are we looking to hire somebody who might have collaboration outside? I think that just shows that somebody is a strong collaborator. And to me, that would be an advantage, right? So we expect them to do research in their area, but the fact that they're willing to reach out, be a good university citizen for other departments who need it, I think that's a good thing. And it shows that somebody's already started that as a student. We would expect them to be more than likely to continue that as a faculty member. All our faculty collaborate in my department, whether they collaborate with each other, with other departments, or with people outside the university. It's just something we do. It's a very strong part of all of our CVs.
Well,
I would just add that whenever you have the opportunity to add things on, take them. And if it you want a grant where you're the PI and it's a statistical methodology or theory grant, but if you can get on a grant as co-I with a relatively small devotion of effort, and you get that in and covered in your profile, take that opportunity. If it's not an investment of a huge amount of time. And the same thing goes with collaborative papers, whether you're a graduate student or on the faculty. These are opportunities to pad your CV. They're not replacements necessarily for you know, a JASA paper, but they, as long as that they are not at the exclusion of research that is more central to who we are and what we do, then I think you should take those kind of opportunities.
Well, to conclude, any one of you has some suggestions on how to navigate the world of AI to make the application more personal?
I would say be very careful using AI. We get cover letters that are clearly written by AI, and it doesn't. Yeah, it's kind of a weird feeling that somebody can't write a cover letter describing what they really want to do, that they need to go to AI, and then they haven't edited it appropriately to make it seem that it belongs to them. So I would say people should be careful that way. I'm getting emails that way too these days, emails that are clearly just AI emails. It just tells us that they perhaps haven't put as much thought as we would like to see in somebody who wants to be a faculty here. So I'm not saying don't use AI, but I would say don't rely on AI to write your application for you.
Well, we are already over our time limit. So thank you so much for being here and participating, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.